Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a first impressions video for you on this knife. Now this knife has been out for a little while. It's a Chris Reeve large Inkosi, but I've been really curious to pick one up, and so I wanted to share this video with you anyway. The other thing I thought was really cool is the new packaging. I'm really impressed with this. This is a 2017 knife, so this will be, you know, very current up to now. Now maybe they'll change the packaging again for 2018, but that doesn't seem like, that's not really Chris Reeve's style, so I doubt it. Let's go ahead and show you what it comes with, then we'll come back and take a look at the features on the knife itself. So, new box. If you're used to seeing, you know, the square cardboard box, remember the first 25 I got had the cardboard box with all of the Blade Show Award stickers on it, and probably many of you have seen that. I definitely think this is a little nicer. You can see it's a large plain Inkosi there. Comes with this nice little folder that has a sticker in it, has the typical CRK bragging here, all the different awards they've won and stuff like that. Here is a little registration card. There's a sticker there that you missed. Little info about your knife and the birth date on it, August 28th, 2017. So you can see this one is quite new. And then you can also, you know, a little sort of, here's what we do, that kind of stuff, and the specs on when this knife leaves, what we've done to it. So really nice little classy addition there. Of course, the very famous Chris Reeve cloth. Now, if you are new to knife videos on YouTube, you may not be as familiar with this cloth, but there was a time where just about everyone making videos about high-end knives would use this cloth as their background. And it was sort of a credibility thing as well to say, hey, look, I've tried, or I have a Sebenza, and as I tell you about this knife, I've got the standard bearer to share with you. You do get this little package of goodies. You can take down your knife, and you can also lube it and Loctite it. Which is really nice. So packaging, I think, is really well done here. It's a nice, how would you say this? I think they balanced it out really well. So it's an expensive knife, and we're used to seeing a pouch or something like that. If you're gonna do cardboard, doing something like this does sort of keep that level of class nice and high. Now here is the knife. Now this is a used knife. It has still the factory edge, and you can see, you probably won't be able to make this out on camera, but you can tell it's still the factory edge because it actually is a little bit beveled. It's not a straight V grind straight from Chris Reeve knives. So if you have a new Chris Reeve knife and you're trying to sharpen it, you can't figure out why you're having so much trouble, it's because there's a convex edge on here. If you want to keep that convex edge, you've got to take special steps to do that. Most people, their first time sharpening it, are just going to reprofile it to be a typical V bevel. All right. Blade here is S35VN, Rockwell to 5960. Nice hollow grind. One of the things I like about the 25 and the Inkosi is they've tried to come up with sort of a balanced hollow grind that's thin enough that it slices well and yet still retains a lot of strength in the blade. And I think they've done a pretty darn good job of that with this knife. Really nice stonewash on the blade, nice crowned spine. Jimping is absolutely excellent here. A bit of a difference. I'll put my Sebenza 25 review in the comments below, so you can kind of go back and see what the 25 was like. But there are a couple of differences here. One of them is that sort of different ramp. Now if we move on to the handle, again, a pretty standard Chris Reeve handle, a bit of a sway there in the back. You've got the double choil here, a bit of a departure from the 25, or even more of a departure, I guess, from the 21. Spring clip. Bead blast finish. Now the finish on Chris Reeve knives is something that I both love and hate, okay? Now let's say this, from a user standpoint, I really like it because this allows me to have pretty plain titanium, but it's extremely grippy. So they've done a great job of getting a knife that really retains well in hand, that unlike a lot of titanium frame locks where they're just smooth titanium that can be, you know, a little slick at times, this is very nice and grippy, okay? By the way, you won't be able to see it here. You can see on the outside, look at the size of those phosphor bronze washers. And if you take this apart, you'll find that those washers have actual little openings inside to add to the smoothness and performance. So you end up with this big washer, but not as much surface area. You get a lot of stability, a lot of, you know, sort of strength, but you have a limited amount of surface area because they've kind of milled out these holes inside. And in the full review, I'll make sure that I take a picture of that so I can show you and discuss it. All right. Otherwise, it's a fairly standard knife. The pocket clip is angled here so that it lands on the handle. Again, I like that rather than it come riding kind of right along with the lock bar. I don't know why I couldn't think of the term lock bar right there. Lock bar cutout is right there, and it's a pretty moderate lock bar cutout. One of the things I've often complained about with you guys is, you know, I don't like these to be too thick. I mean, I don't like them to be too thin, and this one is pretty good. And then as you look up here, there's no lock bar insert. Hold on, camera to focus. There's no lock bar insert. I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you, but there is, let's see. There we go, you can kind of see it right there. There is a ceramic ball in there. So not only does that serve as the ball that's going to ride on the blade and as the detent ball, but it also serves as the lock interface. So you don't have titanium on steel, you have ceramic on steel, so two surfaces that are going to be nice and hard and are not going to wear. So you've really increased your longevity. All right, so there you go, guys. Those are the features. Now let's talk a little bit about size and weight. Let's see, make sure I'm using the right end of the ruler. So in terms of size, we have pretty well 8 3/8 inches overall. Double check that again. Yeah, actually a little bit more than that, almost to 7/16. Blade length on this guy is just a little over 3.5 inches, about 9/16, 3 9/16. And the handle length is just a hair over, make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, just a hair over 4 3/4 inches. Okay. By the way, in terms of thickness, let's see if I can show you on camera. Maybe a little tough to see. But you're about 7/16 in thickness, so just under 1/2 inch thick. In terms of weight, I'm not going to get the scale in here because you guys have seen the last couple of videos, the scale's been going crazy and I haven't changed the batteries yet. I was able to get it to work if I was really careful and set the knife down on it just so gingerly. And so 4.9 ounces is the weight on this guy, which is, for a titanium frame lock of this size with no internal milling or anything, that's pretty nice. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the knife? My initial impression, and maybe a little bit of background. So one, I've had two Sebenza 25s and now this, and I do like the Sebenza. Do I think it's, you know, the knife by which all of the knives can be measured? Not so much, but I think it's a great knife. Okay, it really is. And I have absolutely always enjoyed it. The thing about this knife that I really like is the balance of it. And you guys know I really like well-balanced knives. A knife that I feel like I can easily carry in all kinds of different situations, and certainly this fits that bill. It's a knife that you can carry as sort of a gentleman's folder, but it's also a knife that can do some pretty heavy-duty use and hard work and not have an issue. And so that's where this really shines. It's a great EDC knife. It's also a great gentleman's knife. It's high-end. It's exceptionally well built to extremely tight tolerances. And so you end up getting just a really nice all-around well-balanced knife. It cuts well. It's going to do, you know, food prep well. It's going to do EDC chores well, and it's even going to do, you know, outdoor wood bushcrafting stuff pretty well also. And that to me is very appealing, because I can put one knife in my pocket and use it for just about everything. It's not overly massive, and yet even though it's not huge, it is strongly built so that it allows me to go, yeah. Let's see if I can give you a good example. Where's my AD-15? Okay, so the AD-15 is really heavily built, and yeah, you know, this is a tank, and I feel great, you know, feel a lot of confidence carrying this and using it for all kinds of things. The Sebenza, I feel just about as confident with it, although it's way smaller and way lighter, which is a pretty nice benefit. Okay, so that's my take on the Sebenza. It's a great EDC plus knife. It's an EDC knife that's still tough enough and durable enough to do just about anything you can think of. So there you go, guys. That's my initial thoughts on the Sebenza Large Inkosi. I will have more to say in my full review, and I hope you'll look forward to that. I'd love to hear down below, guys. Are you guys Sebenza guys? Do you still feel like the Sebenza is the standard? And if you do, maybe I'll keep this guy I'll add this to my sort of standard comparison knives and start putting it it in all the videos. If you're okay without me doing that, that's great too. Let me know it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.